I received 7 pieces of very old ironstone pottery. These were from the collection of my friend Barry Gill Alberg, who is an avid metal detectorist. As a pottery category goes, ironstone is fairly plain, and while antique pieces are desirable as collectibles, they would probably rank pretty low on most people's want list just because they are so plain. But even at that, these ones are not in the greatest condition, but they represent a great deal of history and are some of the most well-liked pieces in my collection. These were collected some years ago now, when the old Court Street Bridge across the Saginaw River was being built. Gil has told me that the ground was a cornucopia of antique items, these being just a few that he gathered. He said there was so much material there that it looked like people may have used that part of the bank as a dump to raise the bank up further before the original, or before the 1880s, I think it was, bridge was built. A couple of these pieces are unmarked, but several potteries are represented by those that are marked, and those potteries are Davenport Pottery, Wiley & Son, Union Stone, Johnson Brothers, and J.G. Meakin. Ironstone is a type of vitreous pottery first made in the United Kingdom in the early 19th century. It is often classed as earthenware, although in appearance and properties it is similar to fine stoneware. It was developed in the 19th century by potters in Staffordshire, England, as a cheaper, mass-produced alternative for porcelain. The innovative ingredient was finely ground slag, a byproduct of the steelmaking industry. In ferrous smelting, the metal separates from the scoria, which float on top and are carried off as waste or slag in processes designed to minimize iron loss, and so mainly containing white oxides or dioxides of calcium, silicon, magnesium, and aluminum. Consequently, there is no iron in ironstone. Its name is derived from its notable strength and durability. And these pieces, I think, attest to that strength and durability, having now over 130 years old, but having laid in the ground, in the wet ground, for well over 100 years before they were collected. They're not so bad for wear. Some are a little bit stained with rust. Some definitely are checked from age, but all in all, they didn't fare too badly. Ironstone in Britain's Staffordshire potteries was closely associated with the company founded by James Mason following his patent of 1813, with the name subsequently becoming generic. The strength of Mason's ironstone body enabled the company to produce ornamental objects of considerable size, including vestibule vases that were 5 feet high and mantelpiece pieces assembled from several large sections. Antique ironstone wares are collectible, and in particular, items made by the Masons are the most collectible. Ironstone was patented by the British potter Charles J. Mason in 1813, and his father, Miles Mason, married the daughter of Richard Farrar, who had a business selling imported Oriental porcelain in London. Subsequently, Mason continued this business, but after the East India Company ceased, the bulk of importation of Oriental porcelain in 1791 had begun to manufacture its own wares. His first manufacturing venture was a partnership with Thomas Wolfe and John Lukac in Liverpool, and he later formed a partnership with George Wolfe to manufacture pottery in Staffordshire. Subsequently, other manufacturers produced ironstone, with James Edwards of the Dale Hall Pottery in Staffordshire also credited as its pioneer. Other sources also attribute the invention of ironstone to William Turner of Longton and Josiah Spode, who is known to have been producing ironstone ware by 1805, which he exported in immense quantities to France and other countries. The popularity of Spode's ironstone surpassed the traditional faience pottery in France, and almost all of these pieces that I'm showing you are from England. There is one that I'm sure was made in Ohio, but the rest are from England. A variety of ironstone types was being produced by the mid-19th century. Derbyshire ironstone became a particularly popular variety in the 19th century, as well as yellow ironstone. Patterns with raised edges became popular in the mid-19th century, including cane-colored Derbyshire ironstone. Some of the most well-known and collectible British ironstone manufacturers of the 19th century include Church Gresley Pottery, Edge Malkin Burslem, Staffordshire, Hilltop Works, Old Midway Pottery, Rawdon Pottery, Sharp Brothers, Spode and Copeland, and Waterloo Pottery, Wooden Box Pottery, and Woodville Potteries. In the United States, a Syracuse china example of the mid-20th century restaurant ware made of ironstone was manufactured here. In the United States, ironstone ware was being manufactured from the 1850s onward. The earliest American ironstone potters were in operation around Trenton, New Jersey. And before this, white ironstone ware was imported to the United States from England, as I previously mentioned, beginning in the 1840s. Undecorated tableware was most popular in the United States, and British potteries produced white ironstone ware known as white ironstone or white granite ware for the American market. During the mid-19th century, it was the largest export market for Staffordshire potteries, and in the 1860s, British manufacturers began adding agricultural motifs such as wheat to their products to appeal to the American market. These patterns became known as farmer's china or thresher's china. Plain white ironstone ware was widely marketed in the United States until the end of the 19th century. Notable 19th century ironstone manufacturers in the United States include Empire Pottery, Onondaga Pottery, Syracuse China, Walter Scott, Lenox, and Homer Laughlin. Transfer printed designs were first applied to ironstone patterns by the masons in an attempt to copy Chinese porcelain cheaply. Transfer ware is most often in one color against a white background, such as blue transfer ware or red, green, or brown transfer ware. Some patterns included detail color that were added on top of the main transfer after the glaze had been applied. Transfer ware designs range from dense patterns that cover a piece to small motifs applied sparingly to give a delicate appearance. That's a little bit of the background on the ironstone ware. These pieces that I've been showing you are really historic pieces, being that the location they came from near Hamilton or Hancock or Hamilton and Court Streets. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please let me know what you think and share any of your thoughts on ironstone in the comment section below. Have a great evening. Thank you.